Hello and welcome to this bonus edition of Sports Talk Philadelphia. We are going to be talking some Flyers. Sitting in for the wonderful Josh Abrams, I am Sam Brown, and I have a great panel with me in Tyler Small and Selena Beemack. So let's just get right to it. So the Flyers, what else can I say about them besides that they're consistently inconsistent is the way I like to put it. With that 5-7 record they got, the only consistency they have is that they haven't lost in overtime yet. But they had a bad weekend.
Yeah.
So what do you take away from their past two losses against the Boston Bruins and the New York Islanders?
Pretty much you have to go individually. You have to see what they did positively person by person because the team as a whole has just struggled. They haven't played together. You have to look at Voracek, who's been distributing great with 9 assists, along with Giroux with 10 assists, so they're leading the team in points. You have to look negatively as well as with the goalie situation. Newvirth got his first start of the season and went 0-1, giving up 6 goals to the Islanders. So it's not a lot of positives.
The Flyers are kind of just like part of this unfortunate saga of bad Philadelphia teams, excluding the Eagles and kind of the Sixers, but over the past couple of years. And this year is just especially just so frustrating, like that second to last place in the division. Like you said, the lack of consistency is really killing them. You know what I mean? Like they're really, really desperate to win at this point. And I think you mentioned the players, but I think a lot of it has to do with coaching and Dave Haxtell.
Yeah.
A lot of that goes back directly to him.
Well, okay, we all know my thoughts on Dave Haxtell, but we'll save it for a little bit later. So, like we mentioned that the Flyers have been very inconsistent in their first several games throughout the season, and it seems like every game that they lose, it's a different factor that's causing that to happen, whether it's the offense, the defense, or the goaltending. So chime in on what do you think is the biggest contributing factor to these losses?
I think the penalty killing has been absolutely horrendous
throughout
the entire season. Albeit short, month-long season, it has been horrific, like absolutely horrific, and I think that's partially why they're really being dragged down. Like the defense is not doing a great job. Ivan Provorov kind of sucks this season, but we got a little bit of a glimpse of last season's Provorov in their game against Anaheim.
Starting to wake up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully. Because that would definitely be a nice catalyst for the team, something to boost them forward and get them connected as a whole. But it really has been a different weaker link every single week, exactly, as you said it. But I think the goalies have been the number one problem.
I agree with you there, Tyler. I think the goalie situation is probably the most urgent factor that needs correcting in their season if they want to improve from here on out, which is something they desperately need to do because playing the way they're playing, they're not a playoff team right now.
No.
But moving on, a new Flyer made his debut, and he put up some good numbers in the AHL in Lehigh Valley. Nicholas Aube-Kubel made his NHL debut Monday. He recorded 1 shot, but you can see his stats from Lehigh Valley in the AHL. So what do you make of this? What contributions do you think this young man can make?
I've been really excited to see him. I think he's going to be someone that can come off the bench for this team and really be a factor that the defense has never seen before. He's great with the puck. He's good at handling it. He scores a lot of goals. He had 18 in Anaheim last season. I think he's going to be a great factor for this team.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting move to bring him up because he has been in the Flyers system for a while, so to finally see him make his NHL debut is really a great thing for him, and I think he could probably add depth to this roster right now, so he's much needed.
All right, well, I agree that he's someone that can that they can use to maybe give a kick in the pants to maybe some of the other rookies.
Right.
Like they're competing for their jobs with this new guy. So if him being up is going to motivate them to play the best they can, then so be it. But I want to talk about their upcoming games. Tonight they're playing against the Kings on the road, and the Kings have been just as much of a disaster as the Flyers, if not more of a disaster. And they did win their last game in Anaheim. So so tonight I see as an opportunity for them to continue that momentum. What do you guys think?
I definitely think that the Flyers could pick up another game. They have the motivation, like you said, going in from that win against Anaheim, which they really needed, and that's kind of like that good feeling to turn things around after a so far bad season. I think the Kings suffer from just as bad goaltending, if not worse,
They
than the
just lost
Flyers.
Jonathan Quick.
Yeah,
They did, which is
exactly.
huge.
So I think that this is a real opportunity for the Flyers to kind of turn themselves around because they're not that far below 500.
Right. And saying that about Quick is huge because he's one of the last names that I can really remember from the Stanley Cup team of a couple years ago.
Yes.
He's been great, and now that he's not there, that could be something to really kind of wake up this Flyers offense, especially because now they're on this stretch out in the West Coast, playing some of what I think is some of the best hockey is in the West Coast.
Yep.
So I think it'll be a tough road stretch for
Yeah,
them.
it's always a tough road trip when they go out west. So let's take a look at what they're going to be doing coming up after that. Right after they finish in Los Angeles, they go out to San Jose. And as you may or may not remember, the Sharks came in here and absolutely plowed over the Flyers in their home openers. Right. So what do you guys, how do you think this road trip, how do you think playing San Jose on the road will go, given how the Flyers have played on the road?
And that's definitely something that the Flyers have not forgotten. They can't have a home opener like that and get wiped off the ice just like that and not remember it when they go back to San Jose. They need to shut down Burns for the Sharks. He's been their main factor. He's one of the biggest names in NHL right now, let alone for that team. The defense can shut him down, and hopefully Elliott can have a good game in net. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's always difficult for them, I think, on the road, especially going to the West Coast. Those are just killer trips that really drain a lot out of the team. So hopefully that they'll be in the right mindset, and I think that'll help them there. I think they've lost a lot of confidence because of the way they've been playing. So if they can gain that back, I know Radko Gudas had some good comments. So.
Okay, well, that just about wraps up Flyers Talk. I want to thank our panel of Tyler and Selena for coming on, and I want to thank the viewers for tuning in. Hopefully they can get it together in their next couple games, and we will see you next week.